See, importance of API, right? I mean, if I have to start about this, I'll have to go back around 7 to 8 years ago, or probably 9 years ago, right? Those times we used to have the DB linked connectivity where DB to DB connections were there, right? But when this API things come in picture, it's more like a modernization, right? And post pandemic, the use case on API and precisely on API banking, because if we have to benchmark ourselves with a couple of our European peer banks, right? There we already have seen open banking, PSD2, right? The same thing happening here in India in the form and shape of API banking, right? Here, banks are externalizing their services. We are, democratizing our data, our services for our customers to third-party ecosystem. Now, banks are not having that prejudice that will keep our service or will keep our customer with ourselves only, right? If any of our customers, they are looking for a connected banking experience, right? If they want to have some open finance kind of experience in some third-party app, we cannot stop them. And without API, it's not possible, right? So API is actually opening up gates for us to do better customer servicing, to generate more business, and we are building an ecosystem using API, right? So it's a complete ecosystem build-up, and it's not only bank, the other organizations also, they are also coming in this domain. See, so there are lots of nuances on it, right? If I have to go by technology, right? But in generic term, all the APIs which we are building, mostly for last 3-4 years, all are in open API in shape, right? So open API, the virtue of open API is that you can use it within ecosystem or outside the ecosystem, right? So that's, in my previous answer, I told you, like, when you are democratizing your services, your data, when you are, driving or riding on your data and giving you are willing to give a better service, better customer experience to your customer, right? In that case, you'll have to make the open APIs. And the trend in GraphQL, REST API, these all are the new nuances which we have seen. And most importantly, now people who are using our APIs, they're also a customer, but they're not using a financial product, they're using a technical product. So the developer experience which banks are building today, right, that is very important, and that's the trend we have seen in last 2-3 years, right? See, API itself is an innovation, right? API banking itself is an innovation. So that innovation has already started probably 5-6 years ago, right? Now what we are doing, the regular evolution on that API banking. Initially that API mostly was for the end customer. Now, as I told you, we are building developer experience. We are building connected banking where even the SME clients, they can make their transaction, they can carry out their transaction from any third party app, right? As a matter of fact, if you take example of UPI is nothing but couple of API orchestration and API transactions, right? So this is growing, and at the same time, the opportunity is that now banks are not only relying on their own, or rather banks need not to be dependent upon on their own ecosystem. We can extend, or rather we are extending our ecosystem with the help of other players, right? There are lots of fintech startups coming up. We are doing collaborations, right? Without API banking, this collaboration wouldn't be possible, right? And when you are willing to give a native experience to your customers, there you need API. And the challenge, if you ask me, see, each and every day we are gaining transactions, the volumes are increasing, and at the same time the threat of frauds and all are also increasing. So that's a challenge, but in most of the cases these challenges are being met, right? And from the business and product end, I can tell you, I'll have to be always up to the curve. I should know, or my product managers, they should know what's going around, right? We cannot just sit back and relax and things are in a will, right? It's a ever evolution process, right? And you will have to be on the curve. See, conversation AI, it's not a very new thing, right? It always there in banking for last 3-4 years. We have seen banks are trying to resolve customers' problem or their queries via voice bot, chat bot, right? The advantage of conversation AI is that you can actually create a customer delight. You can stick your customer to the queries and the hyper personalization experience. See, nowadays, one size fit for all this type of solution doesn't work, right? Your solution should be very much customer specific. It should be very personalized. And this type of experience you can provide only via conversation AI, right? And the solution or the query response time, that is also very important, which using conversation AI is really possible. And again, conversation AIs are basically backed by a couple of APIs and precisely open APIs. So these are the, it's a common ecosystem I'm talking about. So conversation AI, API, your analytics, your data, all together creates the actual digital transformation for banks. See, I can go by the industry trend, right? Not specific to my organization, but what I have observed in the industry is that the bots, right? If the training to the bots are not perfect, if there are some room for improvement, then or sometimes you overtrain your bots, right? In those cases, your bots will start, acted very weirdly, and that will create a very bad customer experience. So you'll have to be very cognizant of this fact whenever you are launching your conversation AI platform or whenever you're launching your bots. The utterances, the orchestration, this has to be very accurate and it has to be well tested. I mean, if you have a 1% of doubt, right, then just resolve the doubt and then go for it, right? Probably all the banks, they will launch their open API platform. They will start onboarding their customers digitally. They will go for a paperless onboarding, and they will started offering developer experience to their customer, right? So bank will no more a bank or a financial institute. They will be a tech institute also. We'll provide the tech kind of support and services, right?
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.